It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
So you know what it is, guys. I am here with Mr. Come and See You, Mr. Crack Your Head, Mr. Captain, Mr. Hall of Famer, Mr. Ring Magazine, Leon Muhammad. Man, buy the book. You just saw it. If you want to support the captain, hit me on Cash App, SILENTHEROS. And without further ado, Mr. Leon Muhammad, man. What's up, champ?
All praise due to Allah. They said the king was dead,
No, he
but the king
alive. He on
ain't
the other
dead.
line. He on the other side of my phone.
Hey, listen, August 23rd, my brother, state of Cleveland, Ohio, Donald King, known as DK, doing a heavyweight title fight. We doing the site now. Evan Snowell, we called me. We put the site. I talked to Carl King, and we put this. He won the first bid for the WBA heavyweight title fight. He's gonna have it 3 days after his 94th birthday, August 23rd. We're leaning towards New York because he's close with Jim Dolan. They do it in the theater because the two names, one of them is a Russian. We get all the Russians in New York. Then we got a kid, Michael Hunter, who's gonna be on the other side of trying to get the WBA heavyweight title, a two-time Olympian. Even though he didn't win, he went to the Olympics twice. We're gonna pump this fight. Don's coming out singing, "The old man is back. Only in America, the king is back."
Mm.
Wait,
Now you said something that was interesting just now. You said Carl King and Don King, they working together? That's
we
breaking
gonna.
that's breaking news, champ.
Here's what's gonna happen. Carl is coming back. That's his father. We put aside all the difference. We all gonna be there. Carl, Eric, Debbie, all the grandkids. We gonna bring this out for number 94. Let the world know that the king's still strong.
Uh,
Only in America. A man that did 200 fights. The Roman in the jungle. Thriller. Glory, hallelujah. Judgment Day. War at the shore. September to remember once and all with Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks. June 27, 1988 in Atlantic City in the desert of New Jersey. Once and for all. This fight is going to be called the last hurrah for the king. August 23rd, 2025. I will announce it soon. The site. We're looking at New York and we're looking at Atlantic City.
Yeah, you gotta take it to Atlantic City, man. You gotta take it back. Smaller arena. Don King know the footprints. You know his old friends. Some may still be alive. You know,
And Jim Dolan is
and
alive. That's his man, Jim Dolan, who owned the Knicks.
but
That's his
but
man.
yeah, but it's a smaller city. He'll have more leverage. You know, he'll have more leverage with the council people, and just in case he wanted to add a little something, you know.
Well, see, we can go to Boardwalk Hall.
Yep.
We can go to Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Or we can go to the theater at the Garden. Or we can go to the Barclays Center. Because Don's last heavyweight fight, when Bermain lost the rematch with Wilder, we was at the Barclays Center.
You were.
See, people gonna come out because Don gonna store a stomach standing party. He gonna come out waving the flags, all the flags for all the American countries. Don gonna wave the flags. The king is
man, so y'all gonna dry clean that jacket too, huh?
Huh?
You gonna dry clean the jacket too?
Oh, ain't no question about it. I'm gonna have mine on.
You got one? You got a
I'm with it.
jacket?
Yeah, I got a jacket, only in America.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's
I got
great.
a Monarch Sports sweatsuit because I got a kid, father coming to see me in a little while. He gonna be on that card out of Harlem. That's why I said bring him to New York. I got 2 little kids that I'm advising up in Harlem, and I'm gonna
Good.
put them. On that card,
Man, that's great
and
to hear.
and 2 of them is with the union.
Yeah, so
You
the
see what I'm
union
saying,
members will come
Fred?
out. Yeah, the union will come out strong. That's 500 tickets by itself. The union, three
You
to
see what I'm
five hundred
saying?
tickets. Yeah.
I got 1 kid in the Lex Twisting, and I got 1 kid in the Carpenters union.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make this thing happen. Carl is my guy.
He is.
Him and his father have difference. Sometimes you and your little son, y'all bump heads. He think you giving him a play, and he want to run another play on the basketball court.
Facts.
But
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
happens. You gonna bump head with your father. Even your son bump head with you. You might tell him to run a jump and shoot to the corner. He might want to go to the middle.
Right. Do you care to
So
elaborate?
that happens.
Do you care to elaborate the how they fell out?
Well, you know, father and sons always fall out. I fell out with my son the other day. I told him I'll crack you in your head if you don't straighten up and take care of your girl and them 2 children. Well, Pop, I do things my way. You did it with your way. I said, but did I ever mistreat your mother? He said, no. I said, why you mistreating a girl that gave you 2 children? And she been taking care of these children by herself. You come and do when you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't I always there for your mother when we did, even, me and your mother couldn't stand each other. But I came around every 2 days and picked you all up and gave her some relief, give her a chance to get herself together. I said, that's what you got to do, man. He said, I'm going to do it my way. I said, I'll go do it your way, but don't call me. We got the argument, and I hung up on it. But I also told him, said, listen, if you were standing here, you get hit with a Joe Prater left hook, you start laughing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It always clashes. Carl loved his father. He loved his father.
Mm-hmm.
Carl, he made a lot of money with his father.
Absolutely.
But Don said in his ways, he's 93. He don't understand we can't do things the way we did in the old days. The days with Jeff Merritt, Ernie Shaver, and what's his name? Bobby Heyman. Those days was in the early 70s when we had Al Heyman, brother Bobby. That was in the early 70s when we were trying to get him to the top, Bobby. It's a new day.
What happened between Al Heyman and Don King and Bobby Heyman? Why are they so conflicted?
Let me tell you what happened. To my knowledge, Al was in the music game when we had. All right, brother. Al was in the music game when we had Bobby towards the top of the fight game. Al was nowhere around boxing. Now Sam was around. Sam was our West Coast guy. Sam did when we was doing stuff with Dr. Jerry Buss out there in California. We used Sam Watson and Charlie D and Angie Jackson because they was with Dr. Jerry Buss.
Right.
They was with him.
Right.
So when Dr. Jerry Buss got out of the boxing game after Irene Eden died, and he tried to revive all them old Mexican legends out there. So when Zuma Nelson said he was tired of living in California, so Don brought him back to the East Coast. So it was no need for us to do any more shows out there at the Forum or the Olympia. Because all them guys had gone. Bobby Chacon, our brother Davila, and Louis Pinter, them guys, and Jackie Lopez and little Danny Red Lopez, they was past their prime. Nobody did it in the history of the sport, as the late Butch Lewis, my brother, would say, the former late vice president of Top Rank. It's never been done in history of sport. Nobody in the history of the sport have did over 200 world title fights. These guys today, the promoter can't can't spell 8 world title fights in one night. Don did it in Atlantic City. 8 world major title fights in one night in Atlantic City. We did it. We did it.
Right.
We pulled it off. We pulled off the Rum in the Jungle. When people said it couldn't be done, we did it. The
Right.
Thriller in Manila, people said we couldn't do it. Judgment Day, with Pinkerton Thomas and Mike Tyson, they said we couldn't get it done. September to Remember with Michael Spinks and Larry Holmes won. This is it in Atlantic City. Jerry Cooney, Don King, and Butch Lewis and Michael Spinks. This is it. Michael Spinks and Quad Wheat, Don Abadu, Butch Lewis and Don King, with the war at the shore. And once and for all, Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks. So nobody did what he done, and the shame that the boxing world today don't give them old man. You may not like him, you may not like how he dealt with his fighting, but you got to give a man his just due. Wait a minute, I may not like a guy, but I give him his just due. I give him his just due. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how this thing's supposed to be.
Wow.
Next question, please.
No,
Talk to me, doctor.
No, Don did 200. If you had to eulogize Don King, how would you eulogize Don King?
I would eulogize him for all the good that he done. See, people don't know about the fire trucks he bought in for them little towns in Florida. People don't know about all the turkeys and Christmas presents that he gave to unfortunate kids. Not in Cleveland, little small towns in Florida and Georgia, not even where he's from. See what I'm saying? See, we're not going to talk about the street life, because the street life has got him to where until the life he got now. Had he not come out the street, he wouldn't have been one of the biggest African American promoters in history. No promoter ever did what DK done. And he had Carl, Eric, and Debbie right by his side, and the late Mama Henrietta. So, what the old saying said, family that pray together, stay together.
Right.
You won't have miscommunication in the family. I just had an argument with my last big sister on my mama's side. Called me up, Champ, you took your medicine? I said, why you call me 8 o'clock in the morning to take my medicine? What are you mama now? She said, yeah, mama going, I'm taking job. You know, it is what it is. But I understand why my sister called me to make sure I take my insulin. Because she want me to stay here a little while longer. So I understand. So there are going to be ups and downs, arguments, but family that stay together, they can survive it all. And Carl loves his father. And Carl, and y'all the world know Carl King is my guy, and his lovely wife, Mama Shelley, and his 2 children.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So if I had to eulogize Don, I would come up thanking God for giving him us for 90-some odd years. Or even 100 years, however long he's blessed to stay here. Because Don paid his dues. He paid his dues. He came to a sport that was mob controlled. The network was all white. The promoter was all white. All the fighters was black and Hispanic. You had a few white fighters with exception, and they was tied to the mob. He came in and took the groundbreaker October 30th, 1974, with our brother and Zaire, and called it the Rum in the Jungle. What he did never been done in the history. All them great promoters at the Garden, Tex Riddle, Tex Jacobs, all them guys couldn't do that. Bob is only great because Don made him great, and Bob made Don great. See, when Don come in, it wasn't a match. Regular suits, doing this and doing that. All right. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to look at the magnitude of what But to what DK brought to this game, he brought not only the flash, the mink, the fur coat, the jewelry, the flags. He brought the game to another level. With Ali, there was no great big parties. There were no extravaganza fights. Extravaganza, however you pronounce it. DK brought this. So Am was here before King, but Don took it to another level, and he pushed Am to take it to another level. Don had all the little fights and the big heavyweights. Am had the middleweights and the waterweights. So you see how it worked out? Am and Don created controversy between each other. Am want to send for Don, and Don want to send his crew for Am. That kept the ball rolling. That kept people interested. What these two gonna do? They're gonna come at each other from the street, or they're gonna fight each other fighters. When Trinidad beat Oscar, Am cut the mic on it. Don stood up and said, "Be on Puerto Rico! Be on Puerto Rico!" You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it exciting. These promoters don't know how to. They don't know how to make Hollywood actors and singers cancel dates and come in for the extravaganza. Come in week of the fight, just relax and walk around and have fun. Nobody, Fred, you've been around the game as long as you know. Nobody does a show like DK. Only mistake I seen that he made in the last 10 years was to give Adrian Broner a bunch of money. And I love AB. AB, I love him. Next question, Fred. You moving on?
Why do you think AB was a? Oh no. What pushed Don King out of boxing? Big time boxing. What was it?
Nothing. What pushed Don out? Don didn't have the tools. He didn't have the Tysons, the Holyfields, the Ruizes, the Chavez, and the Blockers, and all them guys was gone past their prime. All his stars was gone. When you don't have the stars for the modern day networks, Don left. When Don went to falling down, his last big night was on Showtime with Remain and your Alabama friend, Waller.
Right.
So he was around in the 2000s. He had a heavyweight champion. Ain't been popular as the guys he had in the 80s, but he still had a heavyweight champion in 2000. And you was at the fight when Don could have won it.
Right.
Didn't you tell me you were there with Ken Miller when Remain won it?
Yeah. He had Chris Arreola doing the stanky leg. Don King had his cigar. I got the interviews. Yep.
So people can't say he was only big in the 80s and 90s. He had a heavyweight champion in the 2000s.
Sure did.
And he had him in the 90s because he had Mike. He had the kid that Mike stopped, Bruce Shelton. And he had Alden McCall on them guys in the late 90s, Tony Tucker. He had them all. So you can't deny that this man, his place in history in boxing, or his place as a good humanitarian. No matter what he did in the streets, he redeemed himself. That's how I would send him off. Personally, Leon J. Muhammad, the Hall of Famer, the book author, and the ring historian. That's how I would send him off. That's how I would send him off.
All right, Chip.
All right, y'all. All right. That's how I would send him off. How would you send him off? For the next question.
Man, that's a tough question for me because I can only speak from a child's perspective, you know. Those are my fondest memories of Don King, even though I got a chance to spend time with him. But I know where he keep his money.
Wherever he keep it at.
Yeah.
Made history.
Yeah, he made history.
The ghettos of policemen. They sit down with President and Queen. You know Donald Trump is his man.
Right.
That's his man.
Right.
He made a lot of money with Donald Trump.
Right. Speaking of that, what do you think happened with Mike Tyson and Desiree Washington?
Let me say this, man. And I'm going to speak on this, Brady. I think it was all hogwash. And knowing Mike, knowing his persona, I think Mike was put in the Mississippi Cross. Because when you got the kind of money he got, you ain't got to take no coochie. When you got the money, you can. In order, he lost the trial because of Don and Jesse Jackson. If he'd have did it the way the minister told him to do it, Mike would have went to jail. Then the judge, Patricia Clifford, you got to understand, Fred, Mike was put in the mix, and Don went to Am to save him, but Am couldn't save him. You had a Jewish female judge. You had a female prosecutor. Fred, he was already in the crosshairs. And now, I'm gonna say this, Fred. I don't know that it's true, but I got it from a reliable source downtown, Little Italy, that the Jews that had Mike Tyson, they put him in the cross. Bill Caton, Steve Lott, all of them put him in the cross.
Wow.
They reached out. I'm saying the Jews that he left to be with Don, they put him in the cross. Had why would Lord
I'm losing you. You got to wait till you get done moving.
brought in a Vince Phillips, a goddamn tax lawyer, on alleged rape case? I think with all them marching, Yusuf Shaw and all them down there, that destroyed the case. And then, you don't even hear about this broad today. She's a nobody. She ain't even got a husband. Because people know that she put Mike in the cross. You don't even hear about this broad. Mike's always around. Mike's still popular. The women groups, the women live, they're on Mike's side now. They saw what happened. He was put in the cross. You're a more-time millionaire worth $2 or $3 million, and you got to take some pussy, excuse my language, to pay his fine. You got to take some vagina. Come on, man. The man can get what he wants. When it comes to that, the kind of money he had in 1990, 91, see what I'm saying? Fred, it was payback. Them Jews put him in the Mississippi, as we say in the street, the Mississippi Cross. That's what happened. They put him in the Mississippi Cross. That's what happened. See, when you ain't taught no better, you won't do no better. A child is only good as a parent. So her father, her mother wanted to take the money and run. But Jesse and all them down there, Sharp and all them down there, Yusuf Shorty, Ma'am down there, it was a farce. Farrakhan told me, sit down, let it play out. But that's what I think, Brett. You give me your opinion on that situation. At first, Fred, I wouldn't have had him at the Black Expo with all them young women. I wouldn't have had him there. So if you go to somebody's room at 1 o'clock in the morning, Fred, you know it's a booty call. I mean, you ain't going to no room 1 o'clock in the morning for your health. Am I right or wrong?
I agree.
So that's my take on that situation. And I fought DK for getting that tax lawyer, and I love DK. If you listen, boss, I got to go get you on that Ben Phillips, that lawyer you got for Mike. He was a tax lawyer out of D.C. So that's my take on that. Next question.
Yeah, I would agree. Going to a man's room 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you expecting? It's man. This is why Men need fathers, man, because you said something that was real important, and feel free to elaborate on this. You said Don King talked to the mothers. He didn't talk to the fathers. Why would he? Why was he closer to the mothers than the fathers?
No, I'm not. I don't know. I said I heard that Don
Oh,
talked to the
okay,
mother.
gotcha,
Well, I
gotcha.
don't have no proof because I'm not going to put that on DK.
Right.
I don't have proof, but I'm saying when the alleged money thrown out there, the father stepped up and said, "We ain't taking no money."
Mm,
My daughter, I believe my daughter, but look at his daughter today. Can't get a job. She ain't got no husband, got no children, and the case is damn near over 30 years old, Fred.
mm,
Going on 40 years ago. See what I'm saying? Fred? Sometimes you can create a mess with somebody else, but it destroy you. 2 days. I got water. Okay. You understand what I'm saying, Brad?
right.
Sometimes you can. My mother always told me, she said, if you dig a hole for somebody else's child, your child might fall in. Her family digged a hole for Mike Tyson. Look at their child today. Can't even eat. Their child is starving there. Ain't got nothing going for her.
Mm,
See what I'm saying?
right.
And you don't hear from this girl. She ain't got no husband, no children. No nigga want to be around her because they scared if she get mad at him, she gonna get him a rape case. Fred, a lot of women be in these sex cases, they wind up living, dying by themselves.
Mm,
All right, you understand what I'm saying, Fred?
yeah. Yeah.
In this hole, she digged the hole for Mike Tyson. Mike filthy rich, got a new wife that believes in him, and got 2 children by his wife, and he got one of the sharpest Islamic minds as a father-in-law, and he married Shamsuddin Ali, and he got his brother-in-law Amir walking with him. And Mike's still on TV. He's still at the big fights. You try to destroy Mike, but you destroyed, but she destroyed herself.
Right.
You see where I'm coming with this? And now let me say this, Fred, to your female fans. If it happened the way she said it happened, I'm not condoning no man take advantage of a woman. I'm not condoning, but you women got to stop going to these, or let your daughters go to these guys' room 1 o'clock in the morning. You understand what I'm saying? I'm putting it out there because I don't want, if it happened the way she said it happened, I don't believe that it happened that way. I'm not condoning if that Mike did it, but I know Mike Tyson a long time. I don't believe he did nothing like that.
Mm,
If anything, Mike would say, come over here and take a couple of grand off my dresser and let's have fun.
mm,
And Mike ain't gonna get nobody coochie with her monthly on. Come on, Fred, I gotta tell it like it is. I'm from the corners. I'm 12 St. Nick.
mm,
See, you got to look at the whole picture of what was said and what was done in the courtroom. You got a female judge in 1991, when the case occurred. First of all, they never should have had it in Indianapolis at the Black Expo, Black Panther anyway. You got Mike's still young then. He's 20-something years old. Now, at his age, he never would have went to Indianapolis. It's fair to go right back. You're only good as the people that's around you.
damn.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you had the Jews that he left had it in for him. And Patricia Clifford, she was a Jewish judge. The prosecutor was a Jew.
Mm,
So the connection came out of New York. He screwed us. You are Jewish sisters. Screw him.
mm,
You know what I'm saying, bro? That's how that went down, bro. That's how I know how it went down. Because I went down there. I was ready to go to upstate New York. Send my soldiers. But the imam told me to leave it alone. The imam down there told me to leave it alone. But we got it. The man ended up getting 6 years. If my crew would have been involved, he wouldn't have got a date. Because I'd have made this thing go away.
mm,
And wouldn't nobody got hurt. Everybody was still living and breathing. But it was done right. So you got to keep it in mind. If my daughter go to your nephew's hotel room 1 o'clock at night, I know she will give us some coochie or some head one. I'm telling her like it is, Fred. See, people today don't want to admit you put yourself in a position. Sometimes women put themselves in a. Now, why would you go over there? Because he's the heavyweight champion of the world.
That's why she was there.
Come on. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You ain't went there for your health.
Nah, not 1 o'clock in the morning.
She has intention of giving us some coochie, and when Mike got his thing off and put out, that's what, and to my knowledge, and to my reliable source, that was brought on the case. You wait till you call your father first before you call the police. Come on, man. You gotta people gotta look at how this thing went down. And I think, and I'm not covering for DK. I think he could have got Mike a better lawyer, and I think he could have had better people around him at that time. But it is what it is. Mike's home. He got living a good life. He got his dispensary. He's doing all the major fights. He's doing TV shows. He got a podcast. What do this girl got that got to destroy him, Fred? Have you? How many years you been since you heard her name, Fred?
I just Googled her right now while you were talking, and I hadn't heard her name. That's the first time I thought of her in years.
What do the internet say she's doing? It says she married?
No. It don't say anything.
And they
Do
don't
you
even
think
come
her
up.
her and her father plotted that plan?
You know what, Fred? Some people from up that way said to me, they said, Brother Captain, we know you know Mike. And some people I know asked me not to get involved with it. But they know if Carl King would ask me to roll, I would have rolled, regardless of what they think. But I believe that I would have to agree with what you said because she didn't call the police or the ambulance first. She called her father first. I think her father saw dollar sign, saw the law. Mike and nailed down. She lost in civil court. When she could have took the money that was stolen in Mike's defense. Now, I know that Mike didn't go, Mike's lawyers didn't go to her. Some of the people around Mike tried to get to her.
Damn.
A major lawsuit, but they got nothing in civil court. So you can't get nothing if Mike got nothing. So when Mike went in, they made sure he had nothing. When they went to court, they said, "What I'm gonna give you? He ain't got nothing." Instead of doing the suit after he got out, they did the lawsuit, the civil suit while he was in. That's how smart her daddy was. See, he got filthy rich as he came out.
Right.
With the two Holyfields, and the Frank Bruno, the other Frank with the Irish boy from Boston. So Dawn is smart, man. Her father wasn't that smart, Fred. This has got me kind of heated, man. You know how you talk this long. But you know what, Fred? Picking back off of what you said, Fred, and I'm thinking, from reading the transcript, why would you, if somebody just took advantage of you, of your body, why would you call your father first instead of calling the police? And you said your cycle was on. So why would you even go to a hotel with a guy with your cycle on? Your mother didn't teach you no better?
Nope.
Fred, did this seem like it seemed like a family setup now, Fred?
Yeah. Yeah, and especially with what's going on with Diddy, I'm not sure if you're keeping up with that, but it's I think this Diddy case is a fraud, man. Is he a bad person? Quite possibly, but those women wanted it, man. Those women.
See, Fred, I don't know much about the Diddy case.
Mhm.
I only helped Diddy one time. He was on the street by himself and people was crowding him, and I put him on a school bus. He said, "Hey, big man, I know you you with my guy? You with the old time Butch Lewis? I said, yeah. I said, that's why I help you, because I know you know Butch. Because Butch's daughter had somebody sign his label. He said, yeah, you been in my office one time with Butch's daughter. Because he was on the street, all these kids were trying to get his autograph. He couldn't move. The cab driver said, wouldn't pick him up. So I got him on his school bus, and I said, come on. I said, y'all give me about 10 pieces of paper, and I have him sign on the bus, and y'all walk so I can get Mr. Corn in the cab. And I did that for him. That's the only time I ever had reaction with Diddy. I helped him a couple times, one or two times walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? You know, I helped him a couple times. But otherwise than that, Fred, I don't know him personally like I know Mike and all the fighters that had these problems. Even the other fighter that had that problem in Vegas that was on top, Ikabichi. He had where he got convicted of something, deported back to his country for a young girl saying he raped her. See, women come after these athletes, bro, because they're seeking, and a lot of times, Fred, these parents be involved.
Right.
I follow the R. Kelly case, and R. Kelly had good lawyers, but they put him in the cross when they think you're too big, and plus Farrakhan was standing behind him, and they wanted to show him that Farrakhan couldn't help him. They was in control. You know, it's always depending who are around you. Now, if he had a bunch of them guineas around him, R. Kelly wouldn't have went away, because the fix would have been in. They would have told one of them Jewish or one of them female judge, now, if you say he did this, now what if you want this to happen to you? Things can be arranged.
Right.
So it's all going back all with who you know. And I just think that the girl father, I thought it was a setup on the father plan to spread. When I heard the tapes and read the strips, that she called her father first instead of calling the ambulance. Why would you call your father and you just got it sorted and you said blood everywhere because your psycho was on? Why would you be with a near guy when you're psycho on? Most women I know, they home relaxing, going through cramps and all when they're psycho on. I know because I was married to the same girl for 34 years. She didn't want me nowhere near her when her psycho was on. She said, go into the club. Go outside, sit on the porch. I don't feel good. See what I'm saying? And I had 7 daughters. 4 of them psycho came on the same time. They ran my 2 sons crazy. They couldn't wait to go to the Navy. I know something. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So, Fred, picking back off of that, all those cases, I don't know too much about the Diddy case other than the one in common I had with him when I helped him on the strength of Butch Lewis' daughter, Cedar, had some groups, a female group signed to his label. Otherwise than that, I don't know the young man. I wish him well. May Allah bless him with his case. I don't know him. I wish him well. But R. Kelly, I do know because my brother-in-law was with Teddy Riley and Blackstreet, and the kid out of Brooklyn that used to be with Blackstreet, he left him and went solo. What's his name? Out of Brooklyn, out of Harlem, that was Big Blackstreet. But I think he's out of
Teddy
Harlem.
Riley, and what's the other guy? I don't know.
I think he was out of Harlem, out of Brooklyn. He left them and went solo. He had one hit. Hi, baby. So you went back to your natural air? Yeah, sweetie. So you see what I'm saying, Fred? So it goes back to Fred. It's only good as the people you got around you looking out for you, Fred.
Right.
If you don't have good people around you, see, Fred, that's why people said I ran my crew with an iron fist, Fred. Because had I not, Fred, all the fighters I had, man, they'd have been coked up, drunked up. I have cases everywhere. Prince Charles never had a case. Michael Spinks never had a case. Tim Witherspoon never had a case. A lot of Zuma Nelson never had a case when he was over here. I helped out there in California, Jackie Lopez, Louis Pinter, Bobby Chacon. And the guy that's in the AM office now, Richard Sandoval, when I helped them guys, I never had a problem when I came to camp with them guys 5 or 6 weeks. I laid the law down. We're going to do this my way. Your manager brought me in to make sure you make weight and everything is on the key. I said, after you weigh in, do what you want to do. Eat 26, I don't care. So it goes right back, Craig. It's only good. You're only good as your team. It's never perfect. It's always been. When you're in this business, the music business, the sports business, the corporate business, you got to be in it for real and be in it.
Right.
Next question, Craig.
Did you visit Mike Tyson in prison?
No, I didn't go down, but Sister Betty Shabazz went down. Butch Lewis, I didn't go into prison, but I went down there when Butch went down. I went down with Butch. I was there when Butch got there.
Man did 3 years.
I knew the brother that did the Black Expo. It was a preacher named Reverend Williams. He was close to Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Reverend Williams. He used to be with us. With Don. He used to be with us. Because he was from Ohio, living in Indianapolis.
Right.
And he did that Black Expo every year with the black models.
Right.
See, all that, Fred, see, certain parties you can't take certain places. So, I mean, I can't speak on nobody else's daughter, but I know my daughters and my nieces went nowhere when this cycle was on. They stayed in the house, took care of themselves, and took care of their children. I speak for the women in my family. I can't speak for other women in other families. But I mean, you ain't taught your daughter no better to go out 1 o'clock in the morning with a psycho on?
Facts.
Fred, this is telling me something, because you brought it up. Her mom and daddy had to put this thing together.
Yeah.
Fred, you ain't taught your daughter no better?
Right.
She was a grown woman, Fred, when she was 18, 19 years old.
Right.
You're a grown woman by New York law, and you're from New York. I'm saying New York. I'm ready to get a body right now, Fred. There's an old Puerto Rican coming down the street, always lying to me. I hear too, Leon. Okay. Don't get that done. It's gonna be a problem. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you, Fred, when you look at it, and I want the women, your women listen to way what we just explained to y'all. If you got daughters, tell them to take care of themselves. Don't go running to see no guy at 1 o'clock in the morning. Something happened, and then there's another problem. We got a 1991 case all over again.
Right.
When you look at it, Fred, the lawyer might have, he was a Jew. So I'm looking at the cross. I'm looking at the lawyer cross down with the judge and the prosecutor, the Jews, with the Jews in New York. See, Fred, I think like that, man. People might think I'm crazy, but Fred, look at the picture. You calling your daddy and telling your father what happened? Why would you call and tell your father this? Let your mother tell it. Most women would call and confine their personal life into their mother, not their father, right or wrong, Fred.
Especially something like that. Yes.
Yes. You gonna call mama first. And if your mama ain't told you to stay home when you got your cycle, then you put yourself in this position. Why would you go to a man's room? Why would you even do some nasty scum bag trash like that? Right. Then that show me that she was a $2 hooker from the beginning. That she was a gold digger. You got one of the popular heavyweight champions in history, other than Ali. Filthy rich, more-time millionaire, close to being a billionaire. You shot for the money, but you pay her. People don't even talk about this broad. And Fred, everybody's on social media. You couldn't even get this crazy broad on social media.
Nope.
40 years later.
Yeah.
Fred, we talking about damn near 30 years, 40 years later.
Right. 1992, 91,
Fred,
1991 it happened, yep.
Fred, 91. That's 34 years, Fred. This is 25.
Wow.
34 years, nobody talk about you. You ain't got no husband. If Fred, if she'd have had a wedding or something, it would have been somewhere. Somebody would have posted, Fred.
Right. I agree.
She thought the women groups was gonna support her and destroy Mike when Mike came home. Mike came home, made plenty of money, became multi-millionaire, fell from grace, came back, got a good wife and 2 children, and making plenty of money nowadays.
Right.
So Mike, Fred, when you look at it, who lost? Desiree Washington or Mike Tyson?
Well, Mike did do 3 years. That sounds hard.
Oh, he did 3 years because of the Mississippi Cross. I just explained to you that he was putting the cross, and I'll die on what I'm saying.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I'm saying 3 years is a long time in prison.
And Fred, ain't that long. I know guys that did 18, 30, 25, and 14. I know guys in your neighborhood just come home, did 27.
Yeah, that's still long. That's a long time.
3 ain't long.
Shit. 1 day is long when you believe you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but if you put in the Mississippi Cross, see, Mike come from the streets. He knew that sometimes guys go away and it didn't do nothing.
Wow.
Mike figure for all the pocketbook he snatching, all the robbers he did in Brooklyn when he didn't get catch. He did it 3 years for that.
Right.
He wasn't thinking about that broad because he know he ain't do nothing to the broad.
I agree.
He just figured all the pocketbooks he snatched at the check cashing place in Brooklyn when he was a little toddler teenager.
Mm-hmm.
He figured that he got the 3 years for that. It just came back. It just came in a different form.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, you know what's funny? It just hit me. Mike Tyson's on the sex offenders list.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
They might be, but they don't bother Mike Tyson.
Mm-mm.
He go anywhere he want to go.
Mm-hmm.
They don't bother him, man.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
He got 2, and he got a good woman now, Kiki Ali. She loved him. Kiki Tyson, she loved Tyson. She gave him 2 kids. So when you look at it, that clown Desiree Washington and her father lost.
Right.
Her father, the only thing saved them, Fred, is that had Carter been his manager, they'd have had a problem. Because I would have stopped my crew. But the reason why I didn't do it, Fred, because I knew the fix was in, the people that was around, they would have put the feds on me.
Wow.
See, I knew they would have put the feds on me for racketeering because it was in Indiana, and I go down there and get up, Fred. The feds coming from it.
Right.
Because it's through the state line. Now, New York, it would have been a state case.
Where was the pageant at? Where was the pageant at?
In Indianapolis, Indiana.
Right. That's why they had the trial there. Right.
Yeah. See what I'm saying, Brad? See, we moving on from DK, Mike Tyson, Desiree Washington. What's next? Because I got to get my birthday from you today. Well, I can get it. So I can celebrate number 82, Fred. Let your fans know number 82 is hours away.
Hours? Days away.
Days away, whatever. Because I got to make the restaurant I'm going to, I got to make my reservations now.